Hello, everyone, and welcome to Evolve Yourself TV. I am Agni James, and tonight we will be doing a peaceful guided meditation. How's everyone doing tonight? I wasn't going to stream. I was thinking that I was going to take a night off, and then about I don't know 10 minutes ago or so, maybe 15, I decided I was like, yeah, you know what? I feel a little bit inspired. I want to continue going with it. I've streamed the last 2 days in a row. So it's good to get a 3 day in a row stream session going. Hey, Herbert Smithens, how's it going, friend? Good to see you, man. It's nice meeting you. Where are you from anyway? What part of the world? Um, yeah, it was nice seeing you in that stream last night with Aristotle's raid. And thanks again for the follow and the subscription. I'm out of Chicago. Well, that's where I'm currently residing. I spend most of my life in this area. It's all right. It is what it is. We get great food, but we also have more murders than any other city in the U.S. So I always joke around and say it balances out. I don't really think it's funny. I mean, it's probably not funny, but it kind of is in a dark way. Oh, really? Okay, New Jersey, nice. Yeah. All right, you're East Coast. Cool. Um, I mean, so when is the weather going to finally like get better, man? That's something that I've been thinking about lately. I don't know what it was like today and out where you live, but in Chicago was another miserable day. We just can't get a break. We can't get any of that nice weather, and we're already like what in late April, so we've got to get that going. Hey, JT Farms is here. Hello, my channel Shawoman or Shaman. Good to see you, JT. By the way, JT, I wanted to thank you for last night. You were super helpful when that the big raid came in from Aristotle. So I really appreciate that. You're a great regulator. You keep everything in check, which is good. Herbert, you say, "LL, you went from wearing shorts for a day back to exactly, yeah, back to winter jacket, right? I literally I had my shorts out in my room. I wore them one day, and I was like, oh, okay, we're ready for spring. Like everything's great now. And then like, yeah, now they're just sitting there. And I've just been, I kind of keep them out there as like a reminder that hey, we've already had some nice weather. It's gotta be coming up soon. But we'll see if it actually happens. I mean, maybe according to induction, they say the sun rises every day, so therefore it's gonna rise tomorrow. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll just have this kind of crummy weather forever. That's one of the reasons why I like logically deductive arguments so much better than inductive reasoning. Because with deductive arguments, you have a surefire conclusion. It must be entailed. If the premises are true and the argument is valid, then you know for a fact that the conclusion must be true, right? Um, but then with induction, it's not the case. Just because the sun rises every day, it doesn't mean it's going to rise the next day. But it does give us pretty good evidence. It gives us good support for to make judgment claims, right? Because in the phenomenal world we have all sorts of things that we try to understand through science, and science is one of our best tools for understanding this realm, right? And so and science is based on induction, right? JT, what's going on with you, JT? How's everything going on in your world? You're what? You're doing your remote game today. Oh yeah, good to see you though, JT. Let's see. Herbert, you say, are you a philosophy professor like Aristotle? No, I am not actually. I did go to grad school and I got my master's degree in philosophy. However, I did not pursue teaching after that, and I didn't continue going on for my PhD program. It was a choice that I made that was pretty difficult. When I originally signed up to do the master's program, I was just planning on pursuing my love of philosophy because I really like the subject. I find it really interesting. But then, yeah, I didn't. Once I got in there, then for a while I was thinking about going to get my PhD, but I decided against it because there's a lot of politics. There are a lot of politics involved. Wait, what's all this action going on in the stream right here? Oh, hey, Terra Time is here. I should have known with all those emotes flying on the screen. Terra Time, big shout out to her. She's a streamer here in the fitness and health community. She is the emote queen, and she's also a personal trainer. She makes working out fun. She's such an amazing human being, and she is an exquisite dancer as well. So definitely check her out. Drop her a follow. Terra Time, how are you doing today? How's everything going with you? How's life with you? And hey, we got another streamer that just hopped in. One Sluggy's here, man. Hey, One Sluggy, good to see you, friend. How's everything going with you, brother? How are you doing? One Sluggy is a streamer here on Twitch as well. He started streaming more recently. He does all sorts of different video games, different games. He's a gamer for the most part, and he's a very authentic dude, and that's another reason why I like One Sluggy. And he's gonna tell you it like it is, He's not gonna hold anything back. He's gonna be frank with you. He's gonna be honest and genuine. So definitely check him out and drop him a follow as well. Herbert, you were saying, do you specialize in something in particular, like morality? So, funny you said that. I actually, ethics is one of my worst fields. That's one of the fields that I know least about. The three fields that I'm most proficient in are philosophy of mind, philosophy of science, and metaphysics. Those are the areas of philosophy that I really really like, and that's what I loaded up on in grad school. I did most of my writings and about those subjects, and I took the majority of my classes about those subjects. Have you taken any philosophy, Herbert? Have you ever done a philosophy class, or have you read stuff on your own? I'm always interested in like what everyone's philosophical background is who comes to the chat. Terror Time, you say, oh, it's raining. Yeah, you know what? It's raining out here too. It's raining. I mean, Terror Time, you're all the way from Argentina, and it's raining there, and it's crazy. I'm all the way in Chicago, and it's raining here too. It's been raining all day, on and off. It's pretty garbagey. I was actually talking with JT and Herbert about that a little while ago. How it's like we're late in April, and like the weather is, it's like, I don't know, 40 degrees outside. Like what's Fahrenheit? 40 degrees Fahrenheit, I should say. So what's going on? Like, I mean, are we gonna have snow in May? Are we gonna have snow in June? Like, I don't know what's going on. The weather seems to be acting very atypical, but I don't know that for certain. I haven't. I'm not a meteorologist. I haven't gone back and checked. What the average temperatures are, but it sure feels like we've had enough cold for a while. Let's see. One song you say everything is going swell, just working and chilling right now. How am I? I am well. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I wasn't going to stream tonight, but I started feeling inspired about 20 minutes ago, so I kind of got it together and decided to do some streaming. I figured that would be a good thing to do, just to get out here and share whatever I have with the world. All right. Oh, by the way, how's everything going with you? I know you're back to Grubhub, right? Or it was Grubhub or Uber Eats. I never remember which one you were doing. But you were doing that, and then you were going to do the boot camp, the coding boot camp. Are you still in for that coding boot camp? When does that start? DoorDash. Yeah, there's like so many of them right now. Now I never know what's going on, right? There's going to be 50 of them soon. Soon every restaurant will have, every restaurant will deliver, and it'll be one of those things. Who knows how it's all going to go. One song you say, living with parents right now and saving up for boot camp. Perfect. Dude, that is a good move. Like living with the folks to save up some cash is a quality move if you have that option. A lot of parents are like, hey, get the fuck out of here. You're 18 years old. We don't want you here anymore. But if your parents are cool and you can like live there and just save up some cash, then that's the move. Especially nowadays. Like, I mean, not many people I know are really like are buying houses these days. Especially my friends that are younger. I mean, none of them are really buying houses. Everyone's kind of like strapped for cash. We're all just trying to make it with inflation where it's at right now. Let's see. Herbert Smithens, you said just one philosophy class in undergrad, but you like thinking about it in terms of morality of government policies. Yeah, absolutely. It's always interesting, right, to think about political philosophy and the way the government operates and whether what they're doing is moral and all those things, right? I like that. I like thinking about philosophy in the political sphere. Unfortunately, I was in an analytic philosophy program, and we had no actually political philosophy classes, so that was something that I kind of missed out on. So all my political philosophy knowledge, I've had to learn on my own. When I was in school, I took some meta ethics, and I got some morality and ethical thinking through that. But yeah, it's weird, the different maneuvers, the different strategic maneuvers that politicians make. Because at the end of the game, for them, all they really care about is getting elected. I mean, they might care a little bit about something else, and have certain agendas. But at the most part, all they want to do is say whatever needs to be said to appease the most people, such that they can get reelected, and it's kind of a problem, right? Because they're not genuine. They're not like one sluggy who's coming out here and being a genuine human being. You know, he comes out here when you go to his streams, he's going to say what's on his mind. He's going to tell you what's going on in his life. You know, I mean, politicians don't do that. Politicians put on these airs of what, and they get you to believe whatever they want you to believe, whatever they think that you're going to like, that's going to help them get elected. And it's kind of a messed up system, but you know, I mean, it's just the way it's always been, right? You know, like we look at it now, like, I mean, you're in New Jersey, you know, I'm in Chicago. We look at it in the U.S. and it's, you know, we see all the corruption and we're like, oh my God, you know, everything's terrible, right? But you know, you go back 100 years, same thing. Go back 300 years, same thing. Go back 500. You know, you just go back all the way to, like, you know, ancient Greece. Go back before that. I mean, you know, go back to tribes, days where everyone lived in tribes. I mean, it was just, you know, it's all politics at the end of the day. People were still being corrupt. You know, it's not a new story. It's the same cycle. The same cycle. You know, someone gets elected, they start getting more and more power. They get greedy. They get power hungry. And then a lot of times they abuse that power, and then, you know, they get kicked out of office in some big scandal, right? And then the next guy comes in and promises to do different because he's so much or she's so much better than their predecessors. But it never works out that way, you know. I think the best way to do it would be to take the person who didn't want to be a politician and put them in office, you know. Like, I've one sluggy, I would vote for you, man. If you were running for president, I would vote for you. Like, that would be a nice change of pace, man. One sluggy for president. All right, where are we at here? Let's go back to chat. One sluggy say, never liked your parents' energy, but you got nowhere else to go. Yeah, and that's, you know what? It's rough, man. It's rough living with your parents if you don't get along with them very well. You don't have a great relationship with them, right? Um, you know, I love my parents to death, you know, but my mom and I, we battle all the time whenever I'm around her. You know, we're basically, our personalities are very similar, so we're always butting heads, you know, and it just creates a lot of tension. But we've come a long way over the years. We definitely get along better now. But it is rough, yeah. Especially if you're at a point in your life where you're not getting along well with a particular member of your family, and then you got to live with them. I mean, yeah, it can be challenging. But yeah, you know what? I guess just look at it as like motivation, right? You know, it's like, hey, you don't want to live there forever. You're saving up money. You'll be able to go to the coding boot camp, and then once you actually get that job and then money rolling in, then you'll be able to get out. And dude, you will appreciate it so much. Like, that was one of the best things when I finally got out of my parents' house for good and was able to just, find a job and do my own thing. That really helped a lot. Like, my overall mental health was improved substantially. I felt freer. I think is the way to describe it. I felt a lot more peaceful. I felt freer. I felt like I was just finally, like, doing what I wanted to do. You know, if that makes any sense to you. Let's see, JT, you're saying, talking with one slug. He said, "Yeah, it's not easy to move back with the folks." Absolutely. It seems that parent-child dynamics never goes away. Hang in there. Yeah, it is. It is rough. One slug, you're saying, "Oh, for sure, being real can only attract real people, and it's easier to analyze fake people when you are." Yeah, absolutely. You make a really good point. People who are real do tend to attract real people in their lives, right? People who put on airs and are fake, they don't. They attract what they are, right? So then they get a lot of fake people in their lives. One of my old friends from high school, he's living in Thailand now. He works high up for the United Nations, and he's the most fake person you'll ever meet in your life. I mean, this guy is crazy, right? Like, everything in his world the whole way he thinks is designed to try to impress people and to try to make people believe what he wants them to believe. And he's the ultimate spin doctor. He can take any situation and spin it such that anyone listening is going to believe what he has to say, because he gives a certain amount of truth in whatever he's saying, but then he exaggerates and he does a lot of weird strategic maneuvers to get people to believe what he wants, basically. But yeah, I mean, but he opens up to me sometimes. At the end of the day, I'm a real person when I'm around him. So sometimes he opens up to me and he's like, yeah, everything that I've been saying is bullshit. Like, I actually am miserable, and I've been trying to scrape myself off the floor. And this guy's like one of the high up UN officials, right? This guy's literally working for the United Nations, and he's crying himself to bed at night. So it's like, but he's walking around, though. When he walks around, everyone's like always commenting how happy he is, but he confides in me. So I mean, I'm just because you think that someone might be happy or might be living a great life, that it doesn't. It's not necessarily the case. Let's see. Once like you say you weren't born in America, so yeah, that's right. That's right. You weren't born in America. Where were you born? I forget. It was somewhere in Europe, right? I forget. I remember you mentioned it at one point, but it's tough to remember everything that the chat says. All right. JT Farms, you second. I once saw you for first president. Yeah, right. That would be cool, man. I know. You get the one of the rules is you have to be born in America. What about vice president though? Does the vice president need to be born in America? Maybe you could be vice president. When Sluggy, you say you do wish more people were real rather than lying to everyone. Like, what's the point? So the way I see it is, people who feel very insecure about themselves and who don't feel good about who they are internally have try to make other people believe they're doing better, such that they for some reason think that if they can convince other people that they're doing better, then they'll feel better. But it doesn't work. It's a shallow game, because the second you convince someone that you're doing better, then you get like a little ego boost, right? But then you need another ego boost to get up even higher, and another ego boost. Otherwise, you flatline, right? And if you'll just sink back down into the depression where you came from. The way to get healthier and happier, from my understanding, things that I've tried, at least in my life, is simply to do things that make people healthy and happy, like go for walks in nature, and eat healthy and work out, and do yoga and mindfulness techniques such as meditation and the internal energy arts like qigong, things like that. When people go all in on that kind of stuff, usually they have a pretty good quality of life. The people who go all in on ego-related activities, like trying to buy as many houses as they can, or buy $100,000 car or whatever the hell they're trying to do, right? Those people tend to always need more and more and more, and then eventually they'll when all's said and done, they're lying on their deathbed wondering why they didn't wondering why they weren't nicer to people and spreading more love in their world. All right, let's see. When so you say, money and power can corrupt humans, but when does those take over a human? Yeah, they can take over. It corrupts and it can take over a human, right? But you need a certain level, right? You need a certain level of money, to just to exist, right? If you don't have that money, if you don't have like enough to get by, I mean, it's pretty rough. One so you're saying, like the saying goes, surround yourself with people you want to be like. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point, right? Because then you see the ways they act, you see the ways they think, and then you tend to pick up on those, right? And all the positive characteristics of those people, right? If someone's like a heroin addict and is like engaging in unhealthy behavior all the time, and you're hanging out with them, it's gonna bring you down, right? And that's something that I've had a lot of difficulty with in my life. When I was younger, I used to always associate with people that had a lot of issues, and people that were really like on the verge of like just complete and utter disaster, right? And then over time, like I slowly felt myself getting brought down by those people. I was there to like try to help and I kind of went into the battlefield, I was like, all right, I'm going to help these people. These are my friends. I've known these people since I was younger. They're having trouble now. They're heroin addicts. I'm gonna try to help them, get through this stuff, right? And then at the end of the day, like it didn't do much. I mean, I was able to help to some extent, but like if someone's choosing to go down a bad path, I mean, that's their choice. You can't force them to go another direction. You were born in Russia. That's right. Okay. All right. I'll remember that from now on. Russia. How long did you live in Russia for before you came over here? Good thing you're not in Russia now, man. That would be a pretty crazy place to exist right now. Herbert Smithens, you say, with regards to money, doesn't it seem like so many people are trapped working their whole lives, working just to survive? Shouldn't there be a simpler alternative? Dude, I wish there was, man, and I wish I had a good answer for that. You're absolutely right. I mean, like I like the Star Trek notion of where everyone just gets like credits, right? And you'll have plenty to survive. You'll have plenty to do the things. To do the things you want in life, and then you can just pursue whatever you want. You can be an artist and not have to worry about being a starving artist. You can be a musician. You can do whatever is going to make you happy, right? And that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty awesome. The issue with that, though, is that the people who currently have the power, the people who always have the power, are the ones that don't want that to be the case, right? They want to hold on to whatever power they have, and they can glorify themselves and make themselves appear better and greater than everyone else if they get everyone else buying into the notion that money leads to happiness. Because yeah, if no one cares, like think about it. Like let's say someone owned like had like $50 billion, and the whole world just decided, you know what, money's ridiculous. We don't care about it. All of a sudden, that whole person's wealth and fortune wouldn't mean anything. It wouldn't mean anything more than just someone who's getting by on just getting their basic needs met, because that other person wouldn't care about that other guy's $50 billion, right? It's only the mindset that money leads to happiness, which actually perpetuates this state. But yeah, I really wish there was a simpler or alternative way. I mean, I haven't. If you can come up with something, let me know. When so you say you agree that most people in this world work to live rather than just living. Yeah, to fix that problem is hard. Yeah, absolutely. You need a community of people to help one another without looking for a reward. And you make a really good point. And let me modify something I said earlier. I was pretty pessimistic and saying it couldn't work. But if you have a small community of people, then it can work. Like things that happen like in communes, and not all communes, but some communes actually are pretty successful, right? People, just all work together. They work hard. They're all friends. They get along well, and there are no crazy power dynamics. And there's other examples in history of like small groups of people that just live together in a community, in a tight knit community, that just all have each other's back and care about one another. Like look at the Native American tribes, in America back in the day before the white man came in and fucked them over, right? That was an issue, but it was a major issue actually. But they seemed to have like a good thing going. They had each other's backs, right? Let's see. One song you say, but there are many steps with having everyone living their dream life. Yeah, it's really tough, right? And what is the dream life, right? Is the dream life the life that marketing tries to sell you, right? If you look at on television, I mean, any station you watch, or any Netflix show you watch, people glorify wealth and power and prestige, right? Those are the things that society tends to value. They're not. It's not the things that I value. It's not the things that there's plenty of people that are very mindful that don't necessarily value those things. I mean, sure, would I like to have enough money to get by comfortably? Absolutely. Would I like to have to be able to have certain things in my life? Yeah, definitely. But I'm not gonna go all in trying to make $50 billion and then say at the end of the day my life is worthless because I don't have that much money, right? When so you say you were 3 when you were adopted, moved to America at that time. Don't remember much of Russia. Maybe one day you just go back to see my time. Oh, so okay, so yeah, you basically have lived your whole life in America. If you were 3 when you were adopted, so yeah, it's not like you're fresh off the boat or anything like that. JT, you're saying we can start a cult. Ooh, that would be cool. That would be cool. Check me out. Always jokes around sometimes, and she's a streamer here on Twitch. She's awesome, and she jokes that she has a cult going on Twitch, and I think it's kind of funny, right? It's kind of funny to say that, right? Yeah, cults are fun. There was a great line from The Office, I think. Who was it? I think it was. Oh, what was the character's name? He was like that, just like the kind of the oh. It was a Cliff or I can't remember what the guy's name was, but the like white-haired old like scammy guy who's kind of weird in the office. I can't remember his name, but anyways, he said one time, he was talking about cults, and he said something like, being a cult leader is, you make more money, but being a cult member, you have a lot more fun. And I think that's kind of true, right? If you're the cult leader, you're gonna have the power and prestige, right? But if you're just a member who's like sitting back and enjoying existence and just meditating and drinking wine and relaxing and hanging out with your friends, playing music, playing games, doing whatever you want. I mean, that would be a lot more fun, right? One song you say, can we sacrifice goats to the anime god? Ooh, that's kind of interesting. So, a quick story. I rent out this island I have a friend that owns a 15-acre island in Byron, Illinois, and it's on the Rock River, and I rent it out from him every year for 1 or 2 weekends. And I bring a bunch of friends of mine over, and we all go and we party on this island. And there used to be goats on this island. The guy that's the caretaker of the island brought over a bunch of goats, and they would just be wandering around the island, and they're crazy animals, right? But anyways, one time we found a goat skull on the island, and we constructed this gigantic effigy, and we had this big goat skull up on the top, and it was pretty cool. The effigy got so hot that it melted the goat skull, like it melted bone. Think about how hot that fire has to be to actually melt bone. It's pretty awesome. Let's see. Until you say only cartoon goats. Yeah, or JT said that. Oh, you don't want to sacrifice real goats? Okay, I guess not. We don't need to sacrifice real goats today. We can do that. I guess we can do that some other time, right? All right. Well, maybe we're about ready to stream. Um, I don't know. I've been talking for how long has it been? It's been 29 minutes, about half an hour. I think it's about time we get to not stream, but get to the meditation. I mean, what am I talking about? It's like I've been streaming for half an hour, but we haven't done any meditation yet. And I think meditation is where we can derive at least as much benefit as philosophical discourse and other things. So, all right, I always come out full of energy, real high intensity, and then we slow things down and we go within to the place of stillness in our hearts. Find a comfortable seated position. You can sit on the floor in lotus pose. You can sit cross-legged, or you can sit in a chair. The main thing is to find a position that is comfortable for you. And take a few slow, deep breaths on your own while maintaining good posture. I have a Buddhist chant that I play that has a chime that rings every 2 seconds. And you can use it to help regulate your breath count. So close your eyes and take a few more slow, deep breaths on your own while maintaining perfect posture. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Stay focused on your breath. Inhale, raising your belly. Exhale, lowering your belly. Breathe in raising your abdomen. Breathe out, relaxing your abdomen. Keep your awareness on your breath count. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit. The breath calms the body, and the body calms your mind. Be mindful of your breath count. Visualize yourself sitting on the tallest mountaintop. Watching the clouds float through the sky beneath you. Two clouds move together, merging into one. And one cloud stretches apart, dividing into two. The clouds float through the sky before disappearing over the horizon. These clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being, exist for a while in conscious awareness, and then disappear from your mind. That is the nature of human thought. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Keep your awareness on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds floating through the sky before disappearing over the horizon. Returning your awareness to your breath count. Your essence is love. Your love is manifested as light. Your purpose is to shine your light on others. Awakening the inner light within them. And they will shine their light on all whom they encounter. until the whole world is glowing radiantly as one once again. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eye sight. Focus on your breath. Stay focused on your breath count. As thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky before disappearing over the horizon. And return your awareness to your breath count. On your next breath, travel down beneath the level of conscious awareness. Go to the region of your heart chakra. Feeling the love that emanates from that location. And the warmth that surrounds your love. In this place, you feel perfect peace. For here, you are one with all eternity. And you're filled with the purest love imaginable. In this place of perfect monism. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all stress and tension from your body. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all stress and tension from your mind. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all toxicity from your body. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all fear and worry from your mind. Focus on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds floating through the sky before disappearing over the horizon. Returning your awareness to your breath. You are perfect love. That is your divine nature. You exist in a state of perfect peace. For that is what was given you. In this place, you remember your perfect purpose. Being grateful to help those around you. In this place, you would never forget to help yourself as well. Because you are worthy of all the divine gifts. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, slowly raising your abdomen. Breathe out, slowly lowering your abdomen. Gently open your eyes, returning to the present moment. Bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of your day. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here with me and sharing this sacred space. Here in this place, we come to remember our divine nature. We do not look in the external world for things to make us who we are. We remember who we are at our core, and that we're worthy of love and perfection. I hope you all feel a little more peaceful and calm, and a little more centered and grounded. Thank you for doing the work. Namaste. Okay, how was that for everyone? That was a 27-minute meditation. Little shorter than the 30 minutes that we typically go for, but I think it was good. I think it was the perfect time for tonight. JT Farms, thank you. It's wonderful for your support. As always, I love having you here, and you're the best mod in the world. I definitely believe that. You're also a channel shaman. I mean, how many other streamers on Twitch have channel shaman? And one sluggy. Oh, thank you for that, man. Thank you for being here. You know, you come here, you do the work, you hang out. You're a good human being, and I appreciate you, man. I really do. Anyone who comes here and just exposes themselves to meditation and tries to work on themselves and improve and find more peace in their life is a warrior of peace. You know, we need more people like that. We need more people who are willing to spread the love. And it's tough because we get bogged down with worldly affairs, right? Things like we need to make enough money to survive, and we might not have a job that's fulfilling, or we might have other issues. But we work through it, and we always remember that we can go within and find what we're truly looking for, like that perfect place of love. So thank you for being here. Let's see. One slug you said need that after a long day of DoorDash. Yeah, right. Yeah, man, that's got to be rough, like driving all over. I mean, the cool thing about DoorDash though, you don't have a boss looking over your shoulder, at least from my understanding, and you get to listen to whatever music you want, right, when you're driving around. So that's a cool thing, right? You're driving around, you can listen to music. I know that definitely probably helps. You do the delivery, and then you can just crank your tunes and that music is important, right? Sometimes I think we underestimate the significance of music. It's by the way, this is kind of funny. I want to say something. You ask people what's your favorite type of music, right? Everyone always wants to know what kind of music people are into. Personally, I'm into a lot of heavy metal, especially from Norway. A lot of Norwegian avant-garde metal, but I'm also in other stuff. I'm into rock, alternative, a bunch of stuff, right? I had a friend at this when I used to teach special ed. She was a speech therapist there, and I asked her, "Oh, what kind of music are you into?" And she said, "I don't like music." And I said, "Well, what do you mean you don't like music? Like, what kind of music don't you like?" And she said, "No, you don't understand. You don't understand, Agni. I don't like any music." And I'm like, "Oh, surely there must be some genre of music, or at least a song that you like." And she said, "No." She said she has never liked a single song that she has heard in her entire life. How wild is that, right? Like, isn't that pretty amazing? I asked her what she listened to, and she said talk radio. Like, to not like a single song. I thought music was universally liked by people, at least some kind of music, but she didn't like any of it. Like, that's amazing. It's pretty. It blew my mind, and I'm still amazed by that notion that she interjected at that on that day. Let's see. One song you say the only time you meditate is when I stream. Oh, well, hey, you know what? The fact that you come here and you meditate shows a lot about your character, and you're willing to put in the work. Most people don't do any meditation, right? I mean, and I said it before. Meditation is not easy. People think that meditation is easy. They're like, oh, it's just sitting there, right? But it's not just sitting there, because you're trying to focus your mind. Our minds are constantly they're hardwired to think, right? When we're out in the world, we're constantly thinking, we're calculating, we're planning, we're thinking about the past, we're thinking about the future. Our minds are constantly going, right? But then we do meditation, and we have to change the neural pathways in our mind by conditioning ourselves not to think, by shutting down the mind, by lowering the mind, such that we can actually go within to the place of pure love inside, right? I don't believe that we can find pure love through conscious planning and reminiscing about the past. I don't think that's where true love lies. My personal opinion is that true love can be found only once the mind is quiet, and then it just allows itself to manifest into fruition. Let's see, so you say, so it's nice when you get to get online. Yeah, I like being online, and I like sharing meditation. I really do. I don't like to come out if I'm in a grouchy mood. If I'm in a grouchy, angry mood or whatever. I don't want to come out, because I don't want to spread that to people. But if I feel like at least neutral, like if I feel positive or neutral and inspired to stream, I'll definitely be out here. And I love hanging out with you too, man. I love being here and sharing the tool of meditation for people. JT, you say the world is gray and stormy without music. The world is something without music. My friend at that school, she was the speech therapist, and she was impressive. It impressed me that she didn't like any music. I don't know what color she was seeing. When so you say music is just another way to communicate, and it's sometimes the best medicine for a wound. It totally is. It totally is, man. I first learned the power of music when I was 16, and I remember I was so depressed. I had a miserable day at school. All the whole day, all I wanted to do was just come home, right? And I finally got home, and I just walked in, and I walked upstairs to my bedroom, and I laid down in bed, and I turned on I had a tool CD, and I put it in, I turned it on, and I just laid there, and I was so miserable. I was on the verge of tears. It was one of those days, right? And nothing really terrible had happened to me that day. I just had this overwhelming despair in my heart. And I was listening to Tool, and all of a sudden I just started feeling better. I started feeling more positive, and I felt alive, and I felt reinvigorated, and it was amazing. It was wonderful. That was the first time I really understood and could comprehend the power of music, and it's the way it affects the human psyche, right? It definitely has a profound effect on our emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. So it's important to surround yourself with music that inspires you and that you like. Another example, that there's an artist, a female artist named Julie Christmas, and she's played in some amazing metal bands like Battle of Mice and Made Out of Babies, and she did an album with Cult of Luna, some amazing metal bands, and her music is definitely inspiring. In fact, when I used to write poetry, when I was really big into writing poetry a few years ago, I used to always start my day by listening to her music and drinking coffee, and then I would just be inspired to write. Her music is, I call it trauma music. It's amazing. It's amazing because she's been through a tremendous amount of trauma. And when she was in the band Battle of Mice, she was dating the guitarist, who is also happens to be the guitarist for a metal band called Neurosis, and they had a very tumultuous relationship, and it got really bad to the point where one day, the guy from Neurosis was banging on her door trying to get in, banging on her apartment door, and she was like screaming at him to go away, and she had to call the cops, and they busted in through the door, and they have the 911 recording of that experience, of that horrific experience when this dude was storming in to get at her or whatever, and you can hear everything going on in 911, and she actually put that in one of her songs in Battle of Mice. It creates such a powerful effect because you're listening to this really intense song, and then all of a sudden you actually hear what went down, what transpired between these two. It was like the ultimate battle. And then eventually after that, they when they would record music, they wouldn't see each other after that at all. And when they would record music, she would be in one room, and then he would have to be in the other room, and there would be like a security guard between the two because it was that crazy and that emotionally intense. But yeah, I call it trauma music, and I think I like it because I can identify with it, because I've had a tremendous amount of trauma in my life. I've had to experience stuff that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, and that's one of the reasons why I have so much compassion for people now, because when you've been through so much, you start to realize that, what, we're all just people here. We're all trying our best to be happy. We're all trying our best to find ways to live and exist in this world, and it's tough. We don't know. A lot of times we don't know what are the things we can do to make us happy and fulfilled in the long term. So we might go out and try to make as much money as we can, and that eventually will fail and leave us empty. Or we might try to become a movie star, and that even if we make it, will probably leave us empty too. Most people don't know that going within as opposed to going without is actually where it's at. You go within, you connect with the love, and then you share it with the people around you. Like when I come on here and I share love with all of you, it gives me purpose. It makes my life valuable. It makes my life worthwhile. And that's definitely something I appreciate. So thank you all so much for being here with me. JT Farms, you say that's crazy. Life in art. Yeah, she literally incorporated her one of her most traumatic experiences into her song, into her music. How amazing is that, right? And it's vicious. You can hear the guy, screaming. He's like obviously like just in a rage, banging on the door, and the 911 operator's like tell me your address so we can send help. Tell me your address. And she's just screaming, and she's just trying to like hold the door back, and he's just pounding it and smashing it, and eventually he does break it down. I mean, it's crazy, it's the violence that can ensue in life. And then she decided to take that really personal moment of her life, that trauma, literally put it in her song. And she was able to get the recording from 911 and actually put in there. And it's one of my favorite songs. So definitely, check out Julie Christmas. Battle of Mice is the name of the band. What track is it? I can't recall. It might be the Bishop. It might be. It's on there. It's on there. They only had one album, so it's on there. You'll find it. Okay, all right. I think it's about time that we rate someone. So let's see who is out there. We'll see who's currently in the streaming world. Let's see. Oh, all right, beautiful. My friend Last Night's Ghost is streaming. Yeah, we're gonna stream her. We're gonna rate her. She's a real cool person. Hey, Aloka Samasta Sukinu Bhavantu just tipped $5. Thank you so much. Namaste. Much appreciated. Good to see you around too. How are you doing today? How's everything going with you? Were you able to participate in the meditation? I know there's like a delay here, so sometimes I say something and it takes a while to reach you guys, and I'm looking at the chat like nothing's going on, but I appreciate it, man. I really do. So we're gonna rate Last Night's Ghost. She's just a very fun, welcoming, warm person. She does like scary stories. She does like horror flicks, like B horror flicks. She does games. She's just a wonderful person. And she donates some of her proceeds to charity too, which is also something that like you gotta stand behind, right? People who are out there that do that, I always like to support them. I like to support artists and musicians that do that, and it helps. We gotta help out the people in the world. Loka Samasta Sukinu Bhavantu, you said you're good, thank you. You're working and working. Cool. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out, and thank you again for that tip. It's really appreciated. Okay, let's do the raid. All right, there she is, and let's send a lot of love her way. Oh, you know what? I should do a raid. Raid call. Like everyone always has like the raid calls, and let me actually do one of my own for once. Let me like make one up here. I don't know why I've never made one in the past. Let's see. Everyone likes the raid calls. All right, where is it now? Like everything's. This could take a minute. I want to get to where I want what I want. Why is it not letting me do it? Sometimes in life you just can't get what you want. Sometimes you can. Where is it? Oh, I think I can just do it this way. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We'll just do it like this. Hold on a second. Okay. This is going to be my official raid call from now on. Everyone else does it, so I guess I got to jump on the bandwagon. All right, so here it is. We're gonna use this one, and let's do it. We're gonna raid Last Night's Ghost. All right, give her a lot of love and warmth. She's a super fun, amazing person, and thank you all again so much for everything, and namaste to all of you.